Hey guys, welcome back here to the Fishing Teacher, and appreciate you guys swinging by the channel for today's episode. And guys, today I got to give everybody a reminder, because right now, this time of year, here is a bait right here I want to talk about that we've talked about before on the channel that is just outstanding in late summer and early fall. We're going to be talking about the Megabass Sleeper Gill, this bluegill imitator here. I'm going to show you guys and give you guys some tips and advice on where to fish it and how to fish it and why it works so good specifically in August and September. Looks just like a bluegill if you've never seen one before, especially this is the pumpkin seed color here. It's got the orange belly on it. It looks just like a pumpkin seed. You can see how chewed up this thing is. I've caught a bunch of fish on the thing. But I'll put the Sleeper Gill link in my Tackle Warehouse link in this video description if you guys would like to order a few. They got a bunch of different type of perch patterns, but they all the same thing, guys. It looks just like a bluegill. It's about the perfect size of bluegill the bass like to feed on. So link in the description there. And also, guys, quick reminder, if you guys are looking for a awesome spinning reel at a freaking awesome price, guys, check out this Cast King Royal Legend here. Smooth as butter, guys. 7-to-1 retrieve ratio. It feels so nice in your hand. You're not going to feel how light and smooth it feels. Built for stout. If you use my promo code Randy10, you get an additional discount on this reel. I'll put my Cast King link in the description of this video if you guys like to try it. But the Royal Legend here from Cast King, I have never seen a reel that is such quality and so good for the price that it is. So I think you guys will really like that. Appreciate it. Okay, guys, a lot of you veterans with the channel, you guys have heard me talking about this. If you have, great. I'm going to give you some extra tips on it today. If you haven't, this is the Megabass Sleeper Gill. It's got a weight on the bottom. It's got a flat keel weight, to where the thing will set up on the bottom like that, when it's setting like that. It looks like a swim bait, but you don't really fish it per se like a swim bait. It's got a big, like a 3/0 super stiff hook in here, hidden by the dorsal fin. I've actually trimmed the dorsal fin back on this thing a little bit here. Let me see if I can show you one out of the package, what it looks like. Here's one that has not been trimmed from the package. You can see that there. But I like to trim that dorsal fin back because it gives the hook point a little bit more better penetration. And also, guys, on this, it'll help. Take a pair of pliers and just open up that hook maybe 1/8 of an inch. See how I got it pointed up there a little bit there? And you'll never miss them. But guys, I'm telling you right now, they will clobber this thing in the situation I'm getting ready to tell you about. Now, what you want to fish it on for the technique that I'm going to describe is get you like a 7-foot 2-inch medium heavy bait cast rod. I usually use that Megabass Perfect Pitch. I'll link that in the video description if you want to get that. And I usually fish it on 17 to 20 pound test Seagarn Vizex, heavy line for the way I'm going to describe it, because that is a specialized technique. Now, even though this is a swim bait, I'm not fishing it like a swim bait as far as like reeling it through the water column. Like, a lot of people think a swim bait is for fishing offshore, fishing open water, that type of stuff. This sucker, this time of year, I'm fishing it the same way that I'm going to be fishing like a spinnerbait or a buzzbait or a topwater lure. That Sleeper Gill, guys, I'm telling you right now, you can fish it around any visible target, and that's what you want to do this time of year. A couple different reasons on this. First of all, one of the things you hear a ton on my channel is you hear about the spawning perch, because perch will spawn all summer long. They're spawning right now. They spawn all summer as long as the water's over about 70 or 75 degrees. They're constantly building beds, spawning. So there's a lot of bluegill shallow. And if you've ever walked the bank on any lake across the country in the summertime, I don't care where you go, guys, you can walk the bank and you can see perch everywhere along the bank. I'm talking these perch are up in, 1 to 3 foot of water, just swimming along the bank, eating bugs and whatever they can get shallow. So there are bass that live up shallow, hunting those perch all summer long. Those are what you're going to be targeting with the Sleeper Gill. So here's what you want to look for this time of year. Number one is when you're fishing that thing, you want to keep your rod tip high and reel it about that far under the water, keeping it in sight. I don't care if the water visibility is 12 inches or 12 foot in clarity, you want to keep that thing just 1 inch or 2 under the surface. You don't want to drop it down where they can get a good look at it. You want to keep it up high in the water column, almost like you're buzzing a spinnerbait or fishing, a topwater shallow. A lot of times when they bite the thing, I'll see a boil underneath it because I'm fishing it, very close to the surface, and I'm casting it around whatever visible target that I'm fishing. Say, for example, if I'm down at Table Rock Lake, I'm going to be skipping it under boat docks. I'm going to be throwing it along the edge of boat docks. I'm going to be skipping it underneath overhanging trees. If there's a laydown log in the water, I'm going to reel it next to that laydown log. If you're in a lake that has submergent vegetation, like, you know, lily pads or hydrilla or milfoil, just throw it along the edge of that cover there right next to it. And guys, they will literally come out and try to take that thing out of your hand. I don't know if I've ever fished a bait before that the bass attack so hard and so aggressively as that sleeper gill. They come after it 100 miles an hour, especially on a boat dock. I mean, if you've got a boat dock in the summertime that has a little bit of off-colored water around it, ideally I want to have about probably 1.5 to 3 foot of visibility on the lake I'm fishing, and I'll skip that thing like under the walkways, and I'll skip it back in the shady parts of the dock, along the front of it, along the edges, along the corners, and they'll just come out and pound that thing. If you happen to have a situation, which is pretty rare, but it does exist sometimes, where you've got some flooded cover late in the summer from some big rains, fishing it next to flooded cover is a great way to catch them. And a great way to catch them is go back in those areas where you think those perch are spawning at and just cover water on bare banks. You can just burn the bank with it, especially around some shade, and they'll hit it just like a swim jig. So I can't tell you guys how good of a bait that is, and it's one of those baits that I talk about that I don't know why they hadn't caught on. I mean, it's like, if people would fish them and know how good they are, you'd read about them all the time. But there's so many lures out there, it's hard for anyone to get traction anymore unless it's something like a weird bait like an urchin or something. But give it a try, guys. Get you a couple of those Megabass sleeper gills on my link in the description of this video. Try them in a situation I talked about and see for yourself on there. So hope it helps out.